Where did the road go? Off-road edition. Welcome to Where Did the Road Go? And tonight we're going to talk to Adam Sane and Serfiel of Conspiranormal about this awesome event they have coming up, which is the fourth year, I think, Adam?
Yes, this is the fourth year.
Fourth annual.
Yeah.
Strange Realities Conference.
And the first year we did it in 2019. We of course did it live. And the second year in 2020 we did it as a online event because of obvious reasons. And then 2021 we came back last year with kind of what we like to call a hybrid event, to where you can watch everything that's going on there. And we've had some of the speakers do their presentations at the venue, SIR, and we've had some, like yourself last year, you did it remotely. So it's still kind of a hybrid event this year, although a little less so. But everyone, no matter what, is going to get to see it online.
And from looking at the schedule, it looked like you have most of the online presentations on Sunday.
Yeah, they're all on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Except for yourself, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, why that is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what's going on? Why don't you run down the list of who's going to be there and what else is happening?
Okay, well, as you guys know, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. I've come on the show in previous years to talk about Strange Realities. Seriah's been very gracious also to play the ad on Where Did the Road Go as well. So Strange Realities Conference is 2022. October 14th through the 16th. We're doing this at a place called SIR Rehearsal Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. And there's two options basically for you guys to view the conference. One would be to actually come to Nashville, and that's a $70 ticket, and that's for 3 days in person. And there's also a $30 online for you to stream it as well. So those are the two options, and it's just basically something back in 2019 that was the next step that we felt was the next step for us as a podcast, was put on our own conference. I'd been to several conferences over the years and really felt like it was something that I wanted to do and try to attempt. So we started it, and here we are in the fourth year.
Yeah, which is a lot longer than most conferences last.
That's true. That's true. But we've got a really great lineup this year.
Yeah, you've had a great lineup every year, but yes.
Well, thank you. But this year we've got a few new people. I'll tell you who's coming back, and then we can talk about who is going to be who some of the new people are this year. We've got Tim Banal coming back. He's going to be starting us off on Friday the 14th, and he's going to be talking about the Yuba City 5, which is kind of like this case that is very similar to the Dyatlov Pass case. Oh. But just like some weird circumstances that make it really mysterious, and so Banal's gonna dive into that. Christopher Ernst is going to be there this year as well. Last year he had to do it remotely, but this year he's going to actually be here in Nashville. And I'll talk a little bit more about what Chris is going to be doing as well, and how you fit into that, Seriah. Yep. But we've also got Mr. Recluse, Steven Snyder of the Farm Podcast. He's going to be there this year in Nashville. And our good friend Nathan Isaac from Pennyroyal, he's going to be there too. And Timothy Ritter is going to be there in spirit and remotely. He's going to be speaking on Sunday. Delaney Bowers, who is a folklorist from Somerset, Kentucky, she is also going to be there. She's been on the Farm Podcast, on our podcast, and I believe she's going to be doing something that's going more in like the folkloric realm, which I'm really excited about. Olaf Phillips, Paranoia Magazine. He was there last year, but more in a way of, I guess, babysitting and handling Mr. Alan Greenfield. But this year he's actually going to be speaking, and he's going to actually be at the conference. David Metcalf is going to be remote, and he's got an interesting presentation about kind of like gothic horror and how that kind of relates to like Whitley Strieber and some of that. And some newer people that we have, Steve Berg, who we've really gotten to know in the last year or so. He's going to be talking about some weirdness and Fortiana that's going on in the like Nebraska area. So if you want to know about the weirdness that happens in Nebraska, besides Nebraska itself, you can find that out with his presentation. Micah Hanks as well, but he's going to be remotely. We first thought that Micah would be there, but he has a previous commitment that he can't get out of. But he's going to be doing a remote presentation on Sunday. John Tinney, who's our headliner on Saturday night, he's actually going to make a conspiracy theory and construct it. And it's going to kind of be like a Philip experiment of conspiracy theories, basically.
Or Slender Man?
And yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like making a meme or a tulpa, but make your own conspiracy theory type of thing is what he's going to be doing. Adam Go-Rightly is going to be there. Really excited to have him. And he's going to be talking about some research that he's done on James Shelby Downard. Of course, you guys would probably know that because Nathan talked a lot about it in Pennyroyal this last season. Aaron Goulias is coming back as well, and he actually has a joint presentation with his co-host from Great Lakes Lore, Samantha Engel. And they're going to be talking about a little-known murder case that took place in Michigan, I believe, in the 1920s, and some of the research that they've been able to do that. So that's going to be kind of a more like a historically based type of presentation. Melody Blackthorn, who's a good friend of ours, she's going to be doing a remote presentation on Sunday about the Bell Witch and some of the research and some kind of like new theories to deal with the Bell Witch. And this year we're doing something different. I believe that's everybody. We're doing something different this year because we're going to have some workshops as well. And we've got Kiki Dombrowski going to be there this year. She's going to be kind of doing like, what did you say it was, Serfiel? Kind of like a crafts.
It's going to be a DIY crafting session to create divination tools.
Right. And Michael Hughes is going to be back this year doing another workshop, more about tarot this time. And Ren Collier, who I'm sure that you know, he is going to be doing kind of like a ritual, and a cult ritual. He's going to be talking about that on Friday evening and to kind of set that up, and then he'll be doing it on Saturday morning, I believe. So at some point on Saturday. So that is the lineup. I don't think I left anybody out. So that's the lineup that we have.
Tim Renner.
And Tim Renner. Yep. Tim Renner is going to be there. He's not going to be there. He's going to be there in spirit.
I'm saying you left him out.
Did I leave Timothy Renner?
I believe you covered him at the beginning.
Did you say him in the beginning? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. And Christopher Ernst. So we were talking about Christopher Ernst and what we were going to be doing. Chris is going to be speaking on Saturday morning, late Saturday morning, the 15th, but he is also on Friday evening from 9 to 11 o'clock at a Central Time. He's going to present a film that he's made about a certain someone that we all know.
Yeah, it didn't start out as that.
It wasn't supposed to be about you. That's what I understand.
Yeah, he was working on something that he was thinking of calling the New Forteans, and he was going to just put together this, interviews with different people, but then with COVID and everything else, he had been here. He did a long interview with me, and he said, "You know what? I'm just going to do it on you." So it's about me. And
I think that's how those things go sometimes. It just kind of serendipitously happens that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not honestly overly fond of having the spotlight on me, but I'm also completely honored that he would think that I'm interesting enough to do a documentary on.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. And what we're gonna do that night, because the film, I believe he said it's about 70 minutes long, roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe give or take. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna have you patched in from central control over there, and you're gonna, I guess, answer questions. We'll talk about it, talk about the film. Maybe you can probably come on and introduce it with Chris and watch the film, and then just do like a question and answer session after that.
Yeah, and I think Chris will be then shopping it to film festivals before it ever becomes available. So this will be the only place other than maybe my Patreon where people will be able to see it for a long time.
Yeah, this is gonna be like the world premiere.
Yes.
And it's he told me a title called Magicians Long to See. Is what it's called.
Something like that, yeah. The Magician Longs to See.
Yeah.
So it's me talking about my experiences and just my outlook on all this stuff and where did the road go and things like that. And I think it's perfect. I reluctantly watched it because I'm like, I'm so self-conscious, I'm like, I'm going to drive myself crazy. And then I watched it and went, wow, Chris did a really good job.
Yeah, I can understand that one to watch it. So, but that is what we have in store, guys. And as far as the schedule goes, I won't go over, who's speaking when. But again, that is 9 to 11 on that Central Time. And the reason I say Central Time is because there's going to be people watching it in different time zones, even in Australia, if you can believe it.
I can.
But that's going to be then. But the way we have this structured is Friday night is an evening time. We start at 5 o'clock Central Time. Saturday is all day from 9:30 in the morning till about 10 o'clock at night. That's, of course, with breaks. And then on Sunday is most of the day, which we've got a couple of presentations, one of which Serfiel is going to give. He's going to give a presentation. And but most of the day on Sunday is for the remote presentations. Last year we had it kind of scattered all through with the remote presentations. This year I wanted to try to keep it all kind of contained to one thing. So, and
if people are going to leave early, they're going to leave Sunday. So, I mean,
yeah, that's usually the case of any conference.
Yes, exactly. Right. So, I mean, it makes sense to do the remote ones on Sunday.
Yeah,
and they'll be recorded, so they can always go back and watch them when they get home.
Right, and
that's true of all the presentations. So
yeah, so once you get a ticket, you'll let people into the Facebook group, and that's where all the stuff can be rewatched.
Yeah, right. There is a private Facebook group. If you guys if those of you that have gotten online tickets, or even if you've gotten in-person tickets, go ahead and get in the Facebook group as well. But some people don't like to use Facebook. It's something that I encountered in the last 2 years in 2020 and 2021.
Sure.
If you don't like to use Facebook, I mean, it is kind of understandable, but we do have another option, so just need to hit me up about that.
Oh, okay. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Facebook group thing is great because, I mean, even if you're there and you miss a thing or you want to rewatch something, you can do it right on there.
Right, and then there's live chat, too. So,
yeah.
I mean, you guys, everybody can talk to each other that's online at the same time. And that was a good way we did it last year with you and with Timothy Renner, where you guys did kind of question and answer formats. You presented something for a bit, but then did some questions.
Yeah.
And that was a good way that we could actually ask the questions, to you on stage and all that. So I think that's a good way of interaction.
And people will be able to see the film if they're watching remotely.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll be able to watch it.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, like I said, I can't compliment Chris enough on the job he did, and it's not even done. Like, I knew Chris was a good filmmaker from watching Corpse and The Hill and the Hole, but he made this thing look beautiful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it as well.
So, I'm looking forward to seeing the final product.
Yeah.
So, all right. So again, prices.
So 3 days here in Nashville in person is $70. And there's we also have another option that I just put up that is for people that if you are in Nashville, you're in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, whatever, if you're close and you want to come to Nashville for a single day to see this, there is a $30 single day in-person option. Now, if you wanted to do that for all 3 days, you probably end up paying $90. So that's why you get a $20 discount if you get the $70 all 3 days in person. So if you're coming for all 3 days, best to just get the $70. But to view it online, it is $30.
Okay, and where can people get tickets and stuff?
Just go to strangerealitiesconference.com. On the front of the website, there's a link that takes you to the Eventbrite page where you can purchase tickets.
Oh, okay. And online tickets are the same thing?
Right.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, $30, yeah.
It all goes through Eventbrite.
It all goes through Eventbrite.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else?
There's different ticket tiers. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else people should know?
That you wanted to add?
There should be plenty of parking. If you need any advice on hotels, just reach out to us. And that's about it. We just look forward to seeing everybody. And everyone at this conference is very accessible. And, there's no real big barrier between the audience and speakers. So if these people are some of your favorite writers and thinkers, you'll have direct access to them and get to hang out and have those cool hallway conversations that are really the best part of these conferences.
Awesome. And the first three have been fantastic, so I expect this will be as well.
Thank you, Seriah.
Thank you.
I highly recommend people check it out one way or another.
Excellent. We want to see you there.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you, Seriah.
Thank you.
Check out wheredidtheroadgo.com. You will find an archive of every show, right back to the very first one that aired January 26, 2013. There's links to all of our social media, Discord, Facebook, the Facebook group, Twitter, YouTube. You can pick up merch at our store that is linked on the page. You can become a Patreon and get extra content every month for as little as $3 a month. You can leave a donation, go through blog entries, and you can contact us. If you have stories you'd like to share for a future Listener Stories episode, stories@wheredidtheroadgo.com is the place to send them. For general contact, it's contact@wheredidtheroadgo.com. And if you want to mail me something, you can do so at P.O. Box 444, Ovid, New York, 14521. You have been listening to Where Did the Road Go? This show is made possible in part from our Patreons, and we thank you and everyone listening for helping us continue this exploration of the strange. You can always find everything Where Did the Road Go related at www.wheredidtheroadgo.com. And thank you so much for your support.